In the past, we've observed individuals with disabilities using Lego as a positive influence, witnessed insane feats of engineering, and have become an eyewitness to the impact of the Lego brand. In 2018, Andorran teen David Aguilar created a Lego prosthetic arm using Technic pieces after building his first prototype at the age of 9. Almost a decade later, he built the fully functionable MK1 version, but David wasn't content with the design and built the MK2 version, which used power functions. 2021, Aguilar was reached out to by a struggling mother who was trying to find an appropriate prosthetic that wouldn't be too heavy for her 8-year-old son's frame. Aguilar happily offered to design the prosthetic arm for 8-year-old Beckner Zahai-Bakhaili.
So you are a fashion guy like me, so does it fit your fashion standards?
Yes.
Okay, so I have one more question for you.
Okay.
Do you want to see the prosthetic?
Yes!
I can hear you!
Yes!
Okay!
While we've started off this video with a positive story about how someone who was dealt a bad hand overcame their situation and used his misfortunes to help himself and others, this next story focuses on someone who suffered from an impairment, but instead of finding a solution or using her disability as a form of advocacy, she became a criminal. 2007 was Stewart's glory year. She was on top of her game. The athlete was the queen of winning and is a former champion runner hailing from Australia. While she was in her prime, and you might think she was living a life full of happiness, she wasn't. She was struggling from an eating disorder. According to the Cleveland Clinic, anorexia nervosa is a serious and potentially life-threatening but treatable eating disorder. It is characterized by extreme food restriction and an intense fear of gaining weight. Treatment usually involves several strategies, including psychological therapy, nutritional counseling, and/or hospitalization. The predicament is Stewart's case was so severe, she lost both of her legs. A runner's Achilles heel is, well, not being able to glide across the terrain. Stewart fell into a deep depression and is quoted as saying, "I have battled my fair share of adversity to get where I am today, and while my CV may be lacking, I know that I bring an immeasurable amount of insight and understanding in humanity's need for connection and validation. I want to share a few insights into the struggles people face living with a disability, especially when the NDIS fails to support you. It's honestly an exhausting, lonely existence, one I would not wish upon anyone." What would you do if you lost an essential part of your life? Would you pivot your life to survive or use your misfortunes to victimize others? Stewart chose to be a beacon of light in her community, working as a sports coordinator at a nonprofit by the name of Amputees NSW. Well, if that's how the story went, this video would be concluded. Stewart had a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde personality. While to your casual outsider, Stewart looked like Mother Teresa, but was secretly involved in heavy crime. Stewart would visit retail stores operating a motorized scooter and load up on items such as Lego sets, electronic devices, sunglasses, and clothing. No one would suspect a lady driving a motorized scooter to be a thief, and imagine if someone questioned her how bad they would look. Because of that, she was able to get away with her illegal activities. Once Stewart arrived at a residence, she would list the stolen items on Facebook Marketplace, which proved to be a lucrative business, making Stewart over $70,000 in 2022 alone. With crazy amounts of money pouring in, Stewart was living a comfortable life. But are you ever truly comfortable when you're committing illegal acts? Well, Stewart's luck was about to run out. Thanks to multiple tips given to the Police Transport Command Southwest Proactive Crime Team, police raided Stewart's Canterbury home. The 36-year-old was promptly arrested and police scoured her home looking for stolen merchandise, where they seized over 150 Lego sets from Speed Champions to Star Wars, 9 pairs of designer sunglasses, 33 Chromecast devices, and 50 articles of clothing. Stewart was charged with knowingly dealing with the proceeds of crime, intending to conceal, and being armed with intent to steal. The athlete allegedly had $250,000 in her account, which was believed to be unlawfully made. To counteract the situation, NSW Crime Commission froze all of Stewart's bank accounts. After being locked up for over 70 days, Stewart had her day in court. The washed-up, humiliated hag stood there contemplating her life decisions with her lawyer by her side. The lawyer argued that life had been difficult for Stewart since she was an amputee and prison wasn't formatted for her situation. She must have forgotten that if you steal, you don't get sent to a 5-star hotel. Criminal lawyer Robert Buckstaff argued that Stewart should be released based on the premise that she had an upcoming appointment to get one of her prosthetic legs repaired and an upcoming eye surgery. While Justice Catherine Button was hesitant on granting Stewart bail under the precaution that she might attempt to steal again, she eventually bent to the lawyer's demands under a few conditions. The terms of the release consisted consisted of Stewart not being able to leave her home without being accompanied by her father. She was also banned from selling product and had to pay a $1,000 bail. Telling this story, I find myself conflicted on where I stand. While stealing is morally unjust, was Stewart stealing for survival? If you're suffering, should your morals be abandoned? If you lost the ability to walk and lacked revenue, what would you do?